Alrighty, everybody, welcome back. This is Big Mike for Wrestling Rants and Reviews, and as you just seen at the opening of the video, it is the return, the re-debut of WTF. And no, it doesn't stand for what the fuck. It's the weekly top 5. However, the weekly top 5 may make you say, what the fuck? Because there's a few things in this weekly top 5 that may just make you say that. But I'm sure you guys already know this. But this is the news stories that I think are worthy of the weekly top 5. Some of you may have seen this before over on the IWWS channel. Well, we know what happened there. So I thought, hey, I'm going to put it on my channel. So here it is. Mind you, I got a couple honorable mentions first before I get into the weekly top 5. So without any further ado, your weekly top 5 starts right now. Alright, honorable mentions first before we get into the major top 5 stories of the week. We have ROH TV tapings. That's right, they're coming up August 13th for them to debut their first set of tapings on the St. Clair Broadcasting System. They have announced a few matches so far from the Frontier Fieldhouse in Chicago Ridge. This is what we're going to see. We're going to see a World TV title match. That's right. Elgin Heracles puts his TV title up against the returning Jay Lethal, who had a semi-okay debut at Best in the World against, was it Mike Bennett? That's right. But Elgin Heracles defends against Jay Lethal. TV title will be on the line. Next, we got a World Tag Team title match. That's right, world's greatest tag team, or better known now as the wrestling's greatest tag team. Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas are going to verse the kings of wrestling, Chris Hero and Claudio Castagnoli. If they don't sign with the WWE by then, we all know that. That's up in the air too right now. But we're going to see a tag team match that's been signed. So let's see what happens. What happens there. And third, finally, well, there's going to be more matches, but right now there's only 3. We got an ROH World Title match. Davey Richards is going to defend against longtime nemesis Roderick Strong with Truth Martini in his corner. So it's already shaping up to be a hell of a debut for ROH on St. Clair Network. We got more people that are going to be on the card on the 13th, such as Eddie Edwards, J. Mark Briscoe, the All Night Express, Michael Elgin, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Mike Bennett, and Thomas Ciampa. So looks like it's going to be some great TV tapings in the works coming from the Chicago Ridge area in Illinois. Also moving on, honorable mentions. We have Stone Cold Steve Austin in the news this week. He just had a little thing to say to the WWE that they should sign TNA superstar Samoa Joe to a contract. So it looks like Austin's behind Samoa Joe. If he's behind him and Samoa Joe's contract comes up, who knows? He may get a shot. I don't know what good Samoa Joe would do in WWE unless they, booked him correctly. Hopefully they would make him into a monster. Maybe Umaga type of monster, but serious. A little more serious than they did Umaga, and let him show more potential. So who knows? And third and finally, for the honorable mentions, we got the BFG. That's right, Bound for Glory was mentioned this week, and they're going to be in Philadelphia in October. So we all know that Bound for Glory is usually out of the Impact Zone every year. Well, we know where it's going to be this year, and it's going to be in Philly. They already got talks of their packages on TNA.com. I don't think they're ready to buy yet, but you can definitely go to TNA.com and check out any FanFest packages, etc. So anyways, on to the major news this week. The weekly top 5, that's right. Coming in at number 5, we got both Hardys in the news, that's right. It's stated that TNA also wishes Matt Hardy would go to rehab as well as Jeff. I think that'd be a great bonus for Matt. He seems to be the cooler-headed one. But you start looking around on his YouTube videos and he's tasing people and just acting the fool. And he's not shy to say that he's drunk or doing whatever either. I think he needs a little bit of help. And I don't think it's all rehab help with these guys. I know they're addicted to these drugs and, they have their demons. But I think it stems far further than that. I think they got issues up here. And that's what makes them go to these drugs and alcohol and these stupid things, with acts of stupidity. I think they're a little tweaked up here. They need some psychological help as much as they do with rehabs, trying to get away from the drugs and booze. But that's just me. Maybe I'm reading into it too much, but they've been through a hell of a lot, not just in their wrestling career, but throughout their life. Losing friends in the business, losing loved ones, whether it's death or just losing them through, divorces or separations or whatever. They've had a lot on their plate, as everybody else has, but I think this is what's really making them strive and go towards, their demons. So yes, as stated here, TNA is wanting Matt Hardy to go to rehab as well. As noted before, TNA officials wanted Jeff Hardy to enter rehab. Speaking of Jeff Hardy, sounds like TNA has things lined up for him, as there's a new DVD coming out in October for Jeff Hardy, apparently, so have to wait and see. Number 4, Sin Cara. Sin Cara's in the news this week. He got suspended for violating the wellness policy. That sucks. That's really bad for Sin Cara, because right now he's being viewed as one of the, overrated workers. They put so much time and effort into this guy, and apparently he's not doing as well or living up to their expectations. Then he goes and gets suspended. And in his defense, he's saying that he's taking medicine or injections for his knees, which probably got steroids in it. So maybe that's why, he came out positive when he tested. So hopefully that's that. It's nothing major and they don't get rid of him. And I think people also still need to lay off him. He may not be the best wrestler right now in the company because of other excuses. Not because he's not good or because he's botching, but because you're only as good as what you work with. And like I said, his style for as many years as he's wrestled has been a Mexican style. I've seen matches with him on Superstars or whatever, SmackDown, with Tyson Kidd, good matches. Daniel Bryan, good matches. Ted DiBiase, not so bad. But you start putting him in there with people that haven't wrestled an indie style match in that many years, or even been to Mexico to understand that there's another way of wrestling. They're botching just as much as Sin Cara is. And Sin Cara is getting the rap because everybody thinks he's a fucking rookie. And he's not. He's just wrestled opposite and different for so many years. It's not that easy to adapt. And it's WWE's fault for pushing him. If they didn't push him so fast to be in the spotlight, he would have more chances to train and properly utilize the WWE style instead of being forced into it on SmackDown or whatever. But that's enough for my Sin Cara rant. But yes, he's been suspended for wellness policy. Number 3, Daniel Bryan wins Money in the Bank. Now tell me this isn't a shocker. I did not expect this. I'm sure a lot of you all didn't expect it. I heard a few people say it's because Sin Cara was supposed to win, but he got suspended. I don't think Sin Cara was supposed to win. I think Daniel Bryan is supposed to win. And I think it's going to play into a storyline with Daniel Bryan. Or not Daniel Bryan, he is Daniel Bryan, with Cody Rhodes. I don't think Daniel Bryan's going to have the Money in the Bank till WrestleMania to cash it in at WrestleMania. I think it'll come into play. I think Cody Rhodes will challenge him for it, and he'll be the one to win it. Either because I don't think Daniel Bryan will hold it that long. He'll be goaded out of it somehow. Someone will be like, yeah, you don't need it. Let's fight for it. Or some shit, because I just don't see him holding on to it that long. And if he does, I don't think they're going to let him. And that's not because he's a bad thing. I think it'd be a great thing. But because it's Daniel Bryan, they're not going to let Daniel Bryan main event WrestleMania. They're not going to let a person like Daniel Bryan, and I'm not saying that a bad thing. I love Daniel Bryan. Or Bryan Danielson. He's awesome. He's a wrestler. That's why I like him. He's not just there to entertain. But that's why they won't let him win it at WrestleMania, because he's not an entertainer. He doesn't have that much charisma as they want him to have. So I think he'll end up losing it anyways. But he wins Money in the Bank. That's the number 3 for the weekly top 5. Number 2, Triple H takes over the WWE. He's now the chairman of the WWE. And Vince McMahon's out on his keister. Um, Shocking news, whether it's all storyline, or not. He's definitely been in the back for some time now. Apparently they're grooming him for Vince's position. So when the transition finally makes change, it won't be that big of a change. So I think it's just a way to take Vince off TV and to put Triple H back on TV. Because it's no different than Vince McMahon being the chairman and being on TV. So while they're grooming Triple H, he can still be on TV and be groomed for Vince's spot. I think this could be, for the realness of it, I think this could help the WWE, fresh mind, someone who will listen to other people. But we know Triple H in the past hasn't wanted to put people over as a wrestler, so we'll have to see how he works as a chairman for wanting to put people over and actually listening to the fans. So yeah, Triple H takes over the WWE. We'll have to wait and see what happens there, that's for sure. And speaking of Triple H and the WWE, number one, CM Punk. When hasn't CM Punk been in the news the last month or so? But he is number one because, yes, he did beat John Cena for the WWE World Title. He almost got cashed in on by Alberto Del Rio. He didn't let that happen. And he left with the WWE Championship. Then that Monday Night Raw, he wasn't there. He was at Wrigley Field hanging out with Cole Cabana and the Chicago Cubs. And then he had the week off or whatever. And then we just seen yesterday, he crashes Comic-Con with the WWE title. He crashes Comic-Con, apparently, calls out Triple H a little bit. They have their words, and he leaves. So CM Punk, without even being on TV this week, has made just as big as waves as he always has. And I can't wait for this storyline to really come into fruition because it's still building. It really is. It's still just growing and growing and growing. We're all anticipating what the next move's going to be, and we just can't wait. Is there going to be an ROH storyline? Is WWE actually going to be cahoots with ROH? When's CM Punk going to come back? Miz and Mysterio, does their title really matter? Because, blah, 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 blah. What's Triple H going to do? We don't know. And that's what's awesome about wrestling right now. It's not predictable. We don't know what's going to happen, and we are anticipating something different. To me, when it comes to the title, I think Ray's going to end up beating The Miz on Monday, and either Monday or the Monday following, CM Punk will be back and be like, you know what, I'm the real champ. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know, something will happen, so it's going to be CM Punk versus Rey Mysterio at SummerSlam, or something along those lines, to become a non-disputed WWE champion, and then that'll be their way to get a new belt also. I don't know, just throwing thoughts out there. But anyways, folks, this has been the WTF, that's right, the weekly top 5, something I can't even talk right now, motherfuckers. But yes, it's been the weekly top 5, your WTF, and there may have been something in there that made you say, what the fuck. But I am Big Mike, and that's that.